You're listening to IsReal News, 3 daily briefings on the Middle East and on global developments.
From IsReal News, these are the evening headlines for Sunday, April 12th. The United States is set to impose a naval blockade on Iran beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 5:30 p.m. in Iran. U.S. Central Command says the move will target all maritime traffic entering and leaving Iranian ports, enforcing restrictions across the Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. Officials say the blockade will apply to vessels from all countries, while maintaining freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz for ships not bound for Iranian ports. President Donald Trump says additional nations will take part in enforcing the blockade. The move follows the collapse of negotiations between Washington and Tehran. Trump says the U.S. Navy will begin stopping vessels attempting to access Iranian ports, warning that the effort will involve international partners and include mine-clearing operations. Iranian Revolutionary Guard officials respond with a warning that any misstep will trigger a severe response. U.S. officials are also weighing the possibility of renewed limited strikes on Iran as a way to break the diplomatic deadlock following failed talks in Pakistan, according to news reports cited by IsReal. Iran's foreign minister says Tehran engaged in negotiations in good faith, but encountered what he calls shifting demands and the imposition of a blockade. He says goodwill was met with hostility. The Speaker of Iran's parliament says the country will not yield to threats, adding that Iran is prepared for either continued war or renewed diplomacy depending on U.S. actions. In Israel, security officials are warning of a possible escalation in the north within the next 48 hours. Schools near the border have been closed as a precaution, and the military says it has struck roughly 200 targets in Lebanon over the past day. There is also an assessment that a ceasefire could be reached by Tuesday, though uncertainty remains high. And in Europe, a major political shift in Hungary. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has conceded defeat after 16 years in power, congratulating opposition leader Péter Magyar, who is on track for a decisive parliamentary majority. Magyar calls the election historic and signals plans to strengthen Hungary's ties with the European Union, while European leaders welcome the outcome. The change in leadership could have implications for Hungary's relationship with Israel and its role within the European Union. And in a separate development, an Israeli diplomat has drawn attention after posting an unusual message ahead of the Hungarian election. The ambassador publicly wished Orbán success at the polls in a social media post, a move that departs from standard diplomatic practice. The message was later deleted. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.
Follow IsReal News for 3 daily briefings. Fast, factual, and to the point.